Hello friends, this is Elaine from Aerial Yoga Gear. Today I'm going to be walking you through a beginner workout that really focuses on your back. Let's get started. First, you want to make sure that your hammock is hung so that the fabric comes down to about hip level, the knots are secure, and you're standing right in the center of the fabric. We're going to bunch up the fabric in your hands, then reach overhead and dive down into a gentle forward fold. Just relax in this position. Don't focus on going down as far as you can. Just allow your arms to hang. You can sway side to side if that feels good to you. If you want, you can bring your arms crossed overhead into ragdoll pose. You can sway here. This is just relax to get yourself warmed up. From here, you can come back up, and you want to make sure that the fabric is positioned right across your hip bones at the bottom of your stomach. And walk your hands and feet out, and we're going to do a quick test to make sure that the hammock is hung at the right height for you. So you're going to want to reach your arms around your legs and hug them to your chest. And make sure that you have at least a few inches between your head and the ground. You don't have to pull your knees to your chest entirely if that feels good for your back. You can leave them out a little bit further. And really this is just a quick test. So when you're ready, you can just walk your hands and feet out into a downward dog. And then slowly back upwards into a gentle standing position. And this is the pose that we always get into after we do an inversion. You're going to want to put your fabric behind your shoulders so that it's resting underneath your arms at the base of your back, and you're going to sway from side to side. This position is really important because when you're hanging upside down, you have all the blood rushing to your head. You need to make sure that we hang out a little bit in this horizontal position before we get fully upright. This prevents you from passing out. We're going to do some sun salutations upwards with the hammock, and you're going to come forward into a version of up dog. Backwards, you're going to lean backwards and reach your arms overhead, stretching your spine. Take a few deep breaths here. You're going to bring your arms downwards and pull yourself forward so that the hammock is pulling you up underneath your arms. You're going to be on your tiptoes. Then bend your knees and lean backwards, reaching your arms overhead. Breathe through as you do these poses, just going backwards and forwards, warming up all the muscles in your body. And from here, we're going to go down into our chair pose, letting the fabric help to support you as needed, and do some backbend variations. Lean backwards, letting your head fall backwards if that's comfortable for you, and then transition back into your chair pose, letting your butt come out backwards, and alternating between your chair pose and then your back bend. From here, you're going to slowly stand back up. You're going to go through a couple warrior poses. Get down into warrior 1 with the hammock behind your back in that backpack position, making sure that your left foot is completely dialed down onto your mat and that your right knee is not overextended. So you should be able to see the toe, your big toe on your right foot. When you're ready, we're going to switch that out and do the same thing on the other side. And the goal here is to get your hips aligned and facing forward as much as possible. So while your left foot is forward, you want to make sure that your right hip is trying to come forward so that your hips are aligned and facing forward. After a few minutes there, you can come back up into a standing position. Now we're going to stretch out our hips using the hammock to aid us in our crescent lunge. You want to place the fabric underneath your knee of your left leg and then slowly lean yourself forwards so that you're being supported by that hammock underneath your left knee and your right foot, which is on the ground, which is up on your toes. This is a great stretch for your hips. Sometimes tight hips can be a cause of lower back pain, so it can be really helpful if you do these kind of poses on a regular basis. We're also going to stretch out that hamstring while we have our leg up there. We're going to pull the fabric across your entire leg, all the way up to your butt, all the way over your foot. Make sure you have your balance here, and you're going to reach overhead and lean forward, trying not to round your back here so that we can get a little bit of stretch in our lower back as well. You can rest your hands on your foot, on your shin, on your knee, whatever feels comfortable for you right now. When we're done here, carefully shimmy the hammock off of your leg, and we're going to reach our right foot up to go into our crescent lunge. Simply place the fabric underneath your knee, gently lean forward, coming up onto the toes of your left foot. You want to stay as aligned and centered as possible when doing this pose. When you're ready here, slowly bring yourself back up into a standing position, and we're going to bring the fabric all the way around your right leg, all the way around your foot, up to your butt. While you're doing this, be careful to make sure that you're not locking the knee on your other leg. Keep that knee soft. And reach overhead and lean forward onto your right leg, reaching either your foot, your ankle, your shin, or your knees. This will give you a much deeper stretch than if we were doing this on the ground. When you're ready, carefully bring the hammock off of your foot. And now we're going to do just a few shoulder stretches. With the hammock in front of you and your hands, adjust your feet so that you can bend forward at a 90-degree angle, making an L with your body. Bring your shoulders away from your ears and stretch them outwards. So you feel a great stretch over the top of your shoulders and your upper back. When you're ready, come down on your knees. Now you can do some back bend variations to get a stretch on those upper quads. Lean yourself backwards as far as you feel comfortable, holding on to the hammock for support. You're going to feel this across your quads. And then you can lean yourself forwards as well. You're still feeling this across your shoulders as well. After a couple minutes here, go ahead and stand up. We're going to move into some inversions. Here. If you haven't seen my inversion video, I'm going to link it in the description box below. but I'll give you some more tricks on how to get into inversions painlessly and easily. You want to make sure that the fabric is across the top of your hip bones at the top of your butt, not on your lower back to prevent any pain there. You simply lean backwards and hook your left leg across both sides of the hammock, letting your right leg simply fall forward. If you're feeling really ambitious, you can let go with your hands and reach behind to grab that right foot, or you can simply leave it extended. When you're ready, make sure you grab onto the hammock and switch your legs so that your right leg is coming over the top of the two sides of the hammock and your left leg is extending outwards. And if you wish, you can grab that leg with your hands. Just make sure that you always have a firm grip of the hammock with either your foot or your hands. And when you're ready here, you can bring both your legs up into kind of a frog position with your toes curled around the fabric. When you're secure, you can let your arms hang overhead back into ragdoll pose, and maybe it feels good to roll your neck from side to side, relieve all that pressure. We're going to stretch the back out a little bit more, so you can slowly walk your hands forward, head in a neutral position. And you're going to walk to the one side and really engage your abs here. So you want to crunch to the left side with your abs. And then when you walk to the left side, you want to crunch to the right side with your abs. So you feel that stretch across the side of your body. We can go back into that ragdoll pose. Slowly bring your hands up above your thighs, and one leg at a time. Extend the legs. Allow your body to come back up into an upright position. And you immediately want to go backwards with that hammock underneath your shoulders. We call this stargazer pose. And you can sway side to side here, making sure that your body is at a little bit of a horizontal angle so that your head can get readjusted to being upright. Now we're going to go through a really quick plank series to help strengthen our abs. You're going to reach your right leg behind you, using the hammock to help you balance. If you're up for a challenge, you can extend that leg and try and balance on your left leg. You can hold here, or you can go ahead and go directly into your plank pose, lifting both feet into the hammock with your hands directly below your shoulders. Even just hanging out here without even moving, if you engage your abs, this can be an amazing workout for your core. Or if you want something more, you can slowly and controlled bring your knees inside and outside, doing some reverse crunches. Be careful not to lift your buttocks too much as you're doing this. You want to stay as flat and as strong as possible. Ready to come on out. This time bring your right foot out first. If you want a little bit of a challenge, you can try balancing on that right foot with your left foot inside the hammock. This is a pretty difficult pose, so you might just want to go ahead and come on up. But if If you are up for the challenge, extend your arms ahead of you and extend your left foot behind you. Balancing and carefully coming back up. And now it's time for our last pose, Shavasana. You just want to bring the hammock behind you, gathering the end of the fabric in your hand, slowly sit back into the fabric, walk your feet into the fabric and adjust so that the hammock is cradling your entire body. You can roll your shoulders back, let your head and neck relax, swallow to release your jaw. Just rest here for a few minutes and soak up all the benefits of today's practice. And when you're ready to come out, you can maybe roll to one side, move your body a little bit and your knees, wiggle around like a worm. Maybe you simply just want to move your fingers and your arms. And then finally, when you feel ready to come out of the hammock, slowly walk your feet one by one out of the fabric. Bring your head out of the fabric. Bring your hands up. And come into a sitting position. This concludes today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this.